What's up guys, DK Jones here, and I'm going to come out with a bit of a different video now here because I think it's time to talk about something that many people have been avoiding. Maybe it's because they don't want to talk about it, maybe it's because they're in denial. But the fact of the matter is, this weekend Max Verstappen set a new record for the most wins in a row. And on face value, someone who's not that into Formula 1, that may not seem like that much of a big deal. But I think this run that Max Verstappen is still currently on is indicative of the trajectory of his career over the past 3 years. And just to put this into perspective before we go on, names in the past such as Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher have had dominant cars in dominant seasons, and they haven't come close, or except for Vettel of course, to the record that Max is currently on. It may even go further. But before I get carried away, let's talk about the GOAT debate. Now, people wouldn't dare mention Max Verstappen's name in the GOAT debate as of now, but in a few years, he probably will be in that debate, considering by the end of the season he's probably going to be ahead of Vettel on the all-time wins record. And I just want to compare his run in a dominant car compared to the runs of Lewis Hamilton, Schumacher and Vettel as well. Now, the GOAT debate in Formula 1 is a very loose argument because it's not a very fair argument to make, because it's overshadowed by stats by drivers who had longer periods of time in competitive cars. For example, Fernando Alonso, if he had the Mercedes for the same amount of time that Lewis Hamilton did, he'd come up with the same amount of stats. So personally, I don't think F1 has a particular GOAT, but I still think it's pretty fun to compare the primes of each of the best drivers that have come in the past. So we're going to start with Lewis Hamilton. Now, the 7 championships may lead you astray in terms of his period at the top. Of course, he did have a bit of competition with Rosberg in years like 2014 and 2016, and Ferrari challenging around the first halves of 2017 and 2018, but he had years that were dominant, such as 2015, 19 and 2020. Of course, 2020 he had the fastest Formula 1 car ever assembled, and he got 11 wins from 17 races, which is a very good amount. But when you compare it to Max Verstappen, of course, last season he beat Vettel's record with 15 races in a season of 22 races in 2022, I believe. And personally, it surprises me that Hamilton didn't ever get any closer to challenging Vettel's record in his period. Speaking of Sebastian Vettel and his period of dominance, where else could you start except for 2013? Now, this is the season where Max seems to be getting all his records from. All the records that used to stand from the season are now taken. He won 13 races that season and won 9 in a row in the second half of the season. Purely dominant season, showing Red Bull are a very good team, considering the fact that they've gone and done it again in recent times. And I've seen many arguments comparing Vettel's run with Max's run, saying, well, Vettel had more competition in 2013. I mean, look at the grid now. We have a Ferrari team of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. You have Hamilton and Russell on the Mercedes team, Lando Norris and Piastri in McLaren team, and you have Alonso coming up with podiums in that Aston Martin. Whilst 2013 Vettel had Alonso, Hamilton, Rosberg, and everyone else were pretty much towards the end of their careers. So I don't think that's a good argument at all, in my opinion. Schumacher, however, is even harder to judge because that's way before my time. I wasn't even born. Well, he had very good dominant seasons, of course, because it's Michael Schumacher, 7-time world champion. He had dominant seasons in 2002 and 2004 that stand out, where he won 7 races in a row in 2004, and he won 6 races in a row between 2000 and 2001, And I don't have much to say except for stats. I never watched him, so people that may have watched him back in the day could go in the comment section and say how it felt to watch Schumacher during his dominant era. But I'm here to talk about how it feels watching Max Verstappen in his dominant era, because that's my generation. Now, Max Verstappen over the past 4 years actually has been super consistent. When you watch Max Verstappen in 2023 or 2022 or 2021, you know if he finishes the race without any sort of kerfuffle, problems, punctures, crashes, DNFs or whatnot, he is going to finish in the top 2 and more recently top 1 guaranteed. And personally, I don't think it's been like that for any other driver during their dominant era. When I think back to when Lewis Hamilton was on top, if Lewis Hamilton qualified out of position down in P14, you would be wondering, hey, Lewis Hamilton's out of position here. Maybe we could see someone else win a race for once. But when Max Verstappen qualifies out of position, you're just counting on your calculator what lap Max is going to take the lead, because he is that consistent and that efficient in that car, that Red Bull, that rocket ship that he's in. And I don't think any other top driver in the past has made it seem that way before. And when you look at the current state of affairs, 14 races down this season, Max Verstappen has 12 of those wins. Red Bull have all those wins, and they're legitimately on course of clean sweeping the whole season, winning every race this season. No team has ever done that. That is insane. It would be the equivalent of the Invincibles in the Premier League if Red Bull went and won every race this season. And Max could, if he wanted to, he could win all of those races. He could go 18 in a row and win 20 races this season. No driver has ever come close to that. If he does that, it is truly the greatest prime in Formula One history. But that's enough of my waffle. I'd like to know what you guys think about this era of dominance and how it compares to other eras of dominance that have gone by. And if you have enjoyed the video, of course, like, subscribe, leave comments in the comment section below or that. And from me, DK Jones, I'll see you next time.